Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think you'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh I knew it's you, yeah, boy.
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Come on in here, you guys. Share the live, share the live, share the live. You guys know it's almost time for me to go to work, but I got to share with you. If you don't know, some vital information done came around. We're gonna talk about it, you guys. It's on the Breasia Terrell case. Henry wants to start talking now, so come on, you guys. I'm gonna share it with you. If you haven't heard, this is the word. We're gonna share it together. We're all going to know at the same time. Well, we didn't know at the same time because, you know, my beautiful mods and my beautiful people that surrounds this channel make sure I know. I was busy today moving around, so I did, you know, get your information and looked over some things. So I'm going to share with you, if you haven't heard, that Henry... I'm going to get right on into it because I don't have long to talk and I got to take me a shower. Henry wrote a letter to the judge. Thank you, Zena. Thank you, Zena, for the introduction. Thank you very much. Y'all saying, hey, some of them didn't know Zena. So I'm going to read it to you to the best of my knowledge because some of it I can't really read. But we're following this case and we're wondering what's going on. So I told you guys every time we come, girl, I say the same thing. You big dummy. You big dummy. Trust me, I said the same thing. Me and Woke the Guy was talking. I said the big dummy. You said that you took the words right out of my mouth. You did. And I want to thank everybody's Woke the Guy, Lisa Taylor. She's not in here yet, but I mean, you guys, y'all help me. Even when I'm busy in my day, I can count on you guys to make sure. It was breaking news on Court TV. Okay, so anyway, let's read it, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Not that much. I just want everybody to know this is the letter, because some people can't read it and they don't know something's going on. So he writes this letter, and it was September 11, 2023 at 11:50 yesterday morning. He wrote the letter. Now, it says up in the corner 9/4/23. Okay? So he wrote this letter. Hold on. He wrote the letter 9/4/23, and it's stamped 9/11. So he wrote this letter right after court. Court was done, what was it, the 29th or the 25th? I think court was done like the 29th or something, 25th. I might be wrong. I think it was done on the 25th, August the 25th. But he wrote the letter 9/4, and it's stamped 9/11, 11:50. So this is what this clown is saying now, okay? So he says, Judge Latham, because that's the judge's name. He says, I'm writing you with urgency, attention that the state has used deception and sabotage this whole case to fit their opinion of a theory, which I have proof, if given the opportunity, to show you their lack of honesty to the courts and the public. That right there got this judge attention. Exactly. Sanjo, you know what I said. He took the fifth and sat there. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the rest of this letter. I can just tell you, he's saying penal code this, penal code that. You got to show the evidence. You got to give, discovery. And I'll just read a little bit. Any copies or photographs, failure to disclose this. You got to tell me what witness is that. You got to tell me this witness. Nigga, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry I said that. Let me calm down. Because you didn't want to get on the stand so we can ask you questions and see you. This is what people don't understand. You had your chance. He didn't want to say anything. He's sitting there talking about, I don't know my address. I don't know my kid's name. I don't know what time it was. I don't know what kind of car I was driving. I don't know what happened to Breasia. I don't know where I live. It's all Aisha's fault and all this other stuff, and you don't get to choose when you want to talk. They gave you a chance to say what you needed to say, either in interrogation, in interviewing, and in jail. And now you got attorney. You had an attorney, then you didn't want an attorney, then you was going to represent yourself, and then after you didn't want to represent yourself, then you wanted to move the venue. You're not running nothing. Anyway, I know they're tired of him. I know they are. I told you what the statistics was in that little town. They're trying to handle him with these kitty gloves on because of the nature of the colors, you know what I'm saying? And so they're not wanting to look like, oh, we're ruining this person. They gave you opportunity, just like everybody else get the opportunity. When you go to court, you say guilty or not guilty. He's pleaded not guilty. You can't sit there and say, well, the prosecution lying about this, and they didn't tell me about that. See, that's the same thing that happened to, what's that girl? That name changed her name into a boy's name and didn't know how to spell it. Cortessa. Cortessa did the same thing. She did the same thing. She was like, SP, you don't know. It's called discovery. They got to show me everything. I said, girl, do you not know that when you start talking and you ask the question, sometimes you've opened that door, or your attorney opened that door so they can bring this in and they can bring that in. They're going to find a way to bring this in, and you're going to get kidnapping charges. It's going to be surprise. You're going to be in court, and it's going to be surprise, and ain't nothing you can do about it. And a lot of stuff that you did not know because the judge probably said no. But if somebody opened up that door and brought another person's name involved or something, you didn't have time to question that person, because guess what? The judge already said, well, we don't need to know about his history. We don't need to know about all the drug activities that he did and what little 5-year-old baby he done raped when he was 17. And we don't need to know about all that. We don't even bring it up. But if your attorney would have said something, or so they were staying away from some certain things, but some other things, but you had to bring that little baby in there that you call your son, named DL. I told you guys, this is going to be crazy, 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 crazy. So let me read a little bit more about what it said. It says, first and foremost, they, the state, did not obligate the court's order when my attorney filed for request for production and disclosure by counsel and pertinent to our rule of criminal procedures 2.14.2, stating the following items of evidence. If in possession and control of the state of Iowa are necessary for preparation, the defendant to inspect copies or photographs or exhibits or any evidence the state intends to offer in evidence at the trial or were obtained from or belong to the defendant. Rule 1.517, consequences of failure to make disclosure or discovery. Rule 1.5171, failure to disclose or supplement if a party failed to provide information or identify a witness as required by Rule 1.5004 or 1.5083, the party is not allowed to use that information or witness to supply evidence on a motion at a hearing or at trial unless the failure was substantially justified or harmless. D, the failure to act describing in Rule 1.5.74 may not be excused on the grounds that the discovery sought is objectionable. Then it goes on. And he keeps going on and on and on about this rule. A party must disclose this rule, evidence, any exhibit that will be used to summarize or support the opinion. Rule 1.5, duty to disclose, required disclosement. Rule 6.1, in general, expect. I'm just going down. I'm not reading the whole thing because it's a lot of repeated things about the rules, you guys, about the evidence and what they must do and what they can't do and how they're going to do it, and all documents that's electronical and stored information and tangible. You do all of this. And then at the end of all of this, he ain't said nothing else. Okay? Then he turns around and he says, I would have to say, Judge Latham, that the state didn't provide at least 50% of those exhibits until the first day of trial. And there are still others the state haven't provided to us, the defendant. If given the opportunity to prove this on the records, I can show the deception and how they sabotage a lot in this case. I showed you already where the state moved exhibits to fit their story in trial. I have plenty more to show you and the public. Those exhibits was also given to us during trial, not before. And then he goes back to some more rules, grounds for vacating or modifying, then grounds for rule material evidence, falsely discovered or whatever, newly discovered. Then he says, Judge Latham, I was also looking under official comments, enactment 1943 federal practice. We come now to the question of enforcement. Without adequate sanctions, the procedures for discovery would be ineffective under Rule 37. Any party who seeks to evade or with a full one candid discovery in or the risk of serious consequences, which may involve imprisonments for contempt of courts for disobedience of court order, the entry of an order that designated facts be taken to establish the entry of any refusing the disobedient party the right to support or oppress designated claims of defense, strike out pleading by default dismissal. That's the end of what he was saying. Okay, which he's saying, wah, 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 wah. Okay, that's what he's saying. He's like, I want to show you that they're not giving me a fair trial. I want to show you that somebody came in there and said something wrong. Maybe my son said something wrong. Maybe, you guys let the information of a person that's dead, like Brinks, say something when he's dead. This nut did not know that it's recorded. If the person died, however he died, I tried to tell you guys something. I tried to tell you something, but you guys didn't want to listen to me. One of these days, you guys will listen. You really will. But he ain't gonna tell the truth. He just want to tell when somebody. He just want to say when somebody else lied. You guys, if you want to talk to me, you can call me 316-553-3056. I think that's my number. I don't call myself, so I don't know if that's my number. I don't call myself, but I know that's my number, you guys. So, and I mean, some people, here's the thing. These people that go to jail and they become really good attorneys, you guys. But let me tell you something. He had his chance. And this is all I'm going to say. He had his chance. When he sat there and let everybody say what they want to say, I don't know what he was thinking when he thought that everybody was going to come on there and tell the truth. See, first of all, I don't believe that at 3:30 in the morning, Andrea seen that child. His movements shows me and tells me he had that child way before 3:30. He had that child between 12 and 1, you guys. 2 o'clock, she was already gone. I'm telling you guys. Okay? And I got some things I'm just not going to say because I got other things in the making. Hey, this is SP. What's going on?
I don't know. I think he's trying to set up a mistrial.
He's trying, but they gave him the opportunity to come to court and speak. He could say whatever he wanted to say, and then they would be able to ask him questions, and he would have to answer. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to poke holes at what the prosecutor said, and the judge is not going to allow that. You know why? Because you had your chance. Right. You had your chance to come in here and get on the stand, and your attorney could have asked you anything you wanted. You could have said, they're lying. My son's lying. Aisha's lying. Brinks is lying. You could have said, I did this. I did that. And anything else, you'd be like, I don't know. And no, that's not true. no, or whatever. You didn't want to do that because you know that once you get on that stand and put your right hand up, you got to tell the truth. Or guess what? One lie that you tell will make you go to jail, keep you in jail. You didn't want to do that. But what he want to do is say, well, a witness came on and said that they seen Breasia at 3:30. That's a lie because I wasn't even there. Here, I was over there at the quick shop at 3:30. So how's she gonna see the kid at 3:30? Nah, because you had her way before then. You had her like 12 and 1 o'clock. You went to your RV at 2:13 in the morning. You already done did what you done did. You didn't go doing no cleanup, no 2-3 hours. You took that girl out. You and I'm just saying, okay, maybe that's just me, but I have to put in my understanding that Brinks had something to do with this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I don't know if something went wrong. They sold the child, and that's where they went, and I don't know. I'm just saying. It was weird to me when little Vince didn't come up. It was weird to me that Brinks died. It was weird to me. They said they seen the baby at 3:30. It was weird to me when DL said, I seen this happen. But everybody's asleep. And everybody played the game and then running to the window and running out. And then Andrea getting caught with drugs and Andrea getting caught with guns. And and then they didn't put two together with the gun. What you think?
I don't know if I got sneaking suspicion that he might have something with some of those statues for recycling.
Well, you know what that means? That means once the verdict is in, you know what you do? You go and try to get an appeal with the higher court.
Right.
That's all you can do. Because think about it. You said it yourself, not here while we're on live, but when we were talking, you said this. You was like, I wonder why they released it to the public so we could see it. Because it don't mean nothing. Every prisoner in jail writes letters to the judge talking about he did this wrong and that wrong. You know what? And all of them might have something. They might feel some kind of way about it. But the law is the law. And you want everybody else to be against the same law that you, but then you want to sit there and say, well, one thing about it, yeah, you're right. He do not have to prove his innocence. He don't. They got to prove he's guilty, and they've proved he's guilty. Now, I don't say they proved it with facts of evidence. I say they proved that girl was the last person alive with him. And if you didn't want to talk about it and they put two together, they can only see you buying bleach. They can only see you going down the street here, going down the street there, getting pulled out the mud, and the mud is on the car, and then you won't even call, and you ain't looking for the child. You ain't doing that. Because when you don't look for a child, that means you know where it's at. That's one thing that people forget to not do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they forget. They try to do everything else to be, manipulating the situation. But they forget to act human because they're not human at that time. They're monsters. So they don't act human. So if my little doggy comes up missing, you're going to see me going down the street saying, Diesel, have you seen Diesel? No, have you seen the dog Diesel? He's this big. He's got this and he's loving, but he have you seen him? We don't see him doing that. And people's like, well, people handle things differently, SP. I said, I understand that, but we're human. And if you lose something that you love, or if you have an inkling of a godly spirit and you care about this child, why would you not go look? You don't go look because you're too busy covering up. You're thinking about you, self-preservation. So you don't have time to go look for something that's not missing. You got time to wipe fingers, and you got time to clean the car, and you got time to go pour bleach, and you got time to run to mom's house and your sister's house and buy phones and all this other stuff. That's called a person desperately thinking that they're smarter than the system. You've been in this system so long, you thought you knew it, but you don't. How many people, okay, how many people do you know in prison write letters to the judge talking about the penal code this and the penal code that? Pretty much all of them do it, don't they? Huh? Zan?
Yes.
Don't they?
All the time.
All the time. Do they get out?
No, usually they don't.
No, usually they don't. I think that's why that judge showed this, because that shows desperate measures. And anybody out there that was involved in this child's death, they better go speak up, because this clown will tell on you now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm really surprised that it was released to the public the way it was. I'm not sure why that was. I mean, I guess the judge just wanted to know, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Because the judge ain't got nothing to lose. The judge ain't got nothing to lose. The judge is like, okay, you're saying that this trial wasn't right. Okay, well, take it up with the Supreme Court. Okay, ain't gonna change his mind. Because rules and regulations, you can go around that stuff. When you make the rules and you're of the rules, you're sworn in of the rules. You can, you pretty much know that if the judge ain't gonna sit there and go, how many times judges go, I think I was wrong. I told you, judges don't do that.
Yeah,
they don't. Well, once they say something in court, it's hard to reverse it. I'm not saying you can't reverse it, but it is very rare to reverse a judge's decision. So he was trying to speak up before the judge came out with the verdict and let us hear it. But his attorney done probably told him, man, you're looking at life. You're looking at life right now. So now he wants to talk. Before that, and you know what? I would not be surprised if we hear him come out and say, he's trying to make a deal right now. He's trying to make a deal. Yes.
Well, it's too late to make a deal.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. Until that judge read the findings, him guilty, he can make a deal. Remember, made a deal right in the at the end of her trial with the King Hill, and she told him what she did and how she did it and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they was getting ready to come out with hers, and he said the judge was like, he was a little lenient, more lenient than what he was gonna be, but he was like, that's because you could have came out anytime and said something, and you just kept lying and costing everybody money and pain and everything, and got us fighting amongst each other and stuff. And you the one did this. And if it was an accident, he gave her a little leniency because she didn't mean to kill the baby, but she did. Right. She said she got high and she was frustrated. And he done peed on himself, and that's not what she taught him. And and people always be thinking, oh, I just need a break from my kids, or I just think somebody else is going to be better with my kids. Girl, on your tireder day, and you leaving the kids in the house, locked up in the room, is better than a person, anybody with your kids. I'm telling you.
Right, because ain't nobody gonna love you just like you love.
Like, you put them in the room, give them a sandwich, cut the TV on, and tell them don't come out. People are like, that's wrong. No, if I hand you my kid, and then you done got mad and angry because they peed on themselves, or they looked at you wrong, or you ready to go to bed and they still hollering or whatever, and then you slap them up against the head, or the, you know what I'm saying? And people lose their cool. No, who knows? You know, ain't nobody gonna treat your kids better than you gonna treat your kids. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about the ones that love them. Now, there's some people just sick in the head. I'm not talking about them type of people. You know, there's something wrong with them. There was something wrong with them. So I never let nobody tell me, oh, you treating your kid wrong. I said, get out of here. I'm telling her she can't have that because I said she can't have it. I don't see why. Because you're not her mama. That's why. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit in the corner. Leave me alone. Because I got to raise this thing over here. And I know what I'm finna deal with because you think she needs to be wearing some Daisy Dukes. Get out of here. Go raise your own kids with some Daisy Dukes. And she like, Mama, I don't see why. You know, everybody wear them. And you know what? Half of these kids is going to come up missing too. And if they ain't, half of them been sexually abused. You don't know what I know. You live a little longer, you'll figure it out. We'll be running around here. Go put some clothes on and go to bed. Anyway, so that's what's happening. You guys know. You know what I'm saying? But I really do think that he wants to tell the judge, Andrea didn't see that baby at no 3:30. We know that. That baby was with him way before then. And then he probably wants to say Brinks wasn't just somebody passing by. And if y'all really did the DNA and found DNA, it wasn't my DNA. But did you put the DNA up and look at Brink's DNA? Since y'all want to say he was a person that was just riding by, that's the DNA that you probably found. Wasn't my DNA. So I'm telling you. And here's the thing, you can't make deals with the devil. You just can't. What you do, you tell him, since you didn't want to talk and tell us, because you had all the time and opportunity, then guess what? Okay, you're going down for all of this, because you're going to take the rap for all these people that you're not saying anything. But you want us to make, you still are part of the equation of this child dying. You took her out the freaking house and she wouldn't be dead. So goodbye. You do not get no pass. I don't care if Brinks did it or little Vince did it or Andrea did it. You know what? You love Andrea that much. Guess what? You sit in jail and rot and let Andrea wallow around the world smiling and grinning. That's what you do. Because now you want to talk to me on the side. No, you don't. You talk just like everybody else. You come to court. You want to get on the stand, get on the stand. You don't want to get on the stand, we can't ask you no questions. Then anything that you got to say don't mean nothing. Right. Go take it to the next Supreme Court. That's what you do. Right?
That's what I would think, but I don't know.
No, I don't. This judge right here, this judge was looking at him like, you big dummy. When that boy said, I seen it, he looked at his attorney and he scrunched up his face and he was like, because he was sitting there, because the judge said, look at him. You know?
Right. Well.
But when the mama get up there and say what color shirt he got on, he all smiling ear to ear like an idiot. Like, boy, you're going to jail for life. You're never going to wear those type of shirts again. You will be wearing those stripes or orange or gray or maybe even what color when you're in protective custody? Brown?
Yeah, brown or maroon in some places brown.
Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. Anything you want to say? Hey, we're going to see what happens. You got a bad feeling? You think this is going to go south?
I don't know, Steve. I didn't get a chance to look up each one of those codes.
Girl, I didn't have to look up none of them. The judge know the law better than him. He looking them up because he's trying to get out of what he's in. Judge is not getting out of what he's in. He is not going to gain anything by sitting there going, okay, I think I'm wrong. I think that we all been wrong and going through this whole trial and spending all this money, and you've been sitting there like this nut the whole entire time. Now it's time to pay the piper. Now you want to sit there and say, we're all wrong. Boy, okay. Take it to the next. Take it to the next. We're done here. I find you guilty and life in prison. I found you guilty. Sentence is going to be in like a month from now. Then when he come in there, he won't be looking like that. Y'all, it's 5:27. I got to get out of here.
All right, ST. Thank you for letting me come up.
Thank you for coming on up and talking with me.
No problem.
All right.
Have a good evening.
You too. You guys know that I really want to talk some more, but I am really, really, really running late, and I got to hit this door, and we'll pick up tomorrow. We'll come on early because we got to get some things out. I wanted everybody to know because I know you're going to run over here and run over there, but you heard it here first, right? You heard it here first. If you didn't see it, it did come on the news and everything, and I tried to get home as fast as I could, and you guys know. Anyway, be good, be safe. We're going to come in tomorrow about 1:00, and we're going to chop it up. Don't miss it, you guys. I'm telling you, we're going to break through some things, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. All right? Bye.